All right, everyone. We are back with the finals for the Digimon card game North American 2022 finals. I am joined by my two panda friends on either side of me with this triple cast here, and we have quite a finals to be excited for.
I didn't think I would have saying this, but I'm actually rooting for the Blackrock Greymon because Andres Perdomo has really impressed me with his play. You know, you can really see the emotions on this guy while he's playing, and he's done amazing plays time and time again. And I think he has what it takes to be the champion today.
And how do you think? What do you think is going to take this one?
It's honestly a toss-up. Depends on if, we can actually get the tamer stabilized here for our Crossheart player, Kevin. The main thing here is I think Crossheart is going to be the underdog for this final here. But if they can pull out the win, it's a win.
And me, I am a big fan of the Crossheart archetype, but I do have a prediction from weeks ago that Blackboard Greymon was going to win this. So either way, I'm happy. We got the split cast here, and we're going to have to see what takes our North American finals today.
Yeah, no matter what happens, Kevin with the Shoutmon King. Man is a king, getting at least second place.
Yeah.
Pretty good. But like I said, I've just really been impressed by Andres Perdomo. Even now, he looks more calm than I've ever seen him this entire weekend.
Yeah, yeah. And he's made it all the way here. And even though this is the finals for today, this is not their final match because all of our top four will be going to the Worlds event later this year too. So it should be a good match here, and I'm excited to see who takes it.
Yeah, we started with over 1,000 players yesterday, and we are down to these final two who have been undefeated the entire weekend.
And just obviously the most stressful game of Digimon in their entire life, and we're going to have to see how it goes.
It's just down to the final two.
In some cases, it'll be like a regular game of Digimon, and in some cases, it's like, oh, you're playing for so much. There's so much on the line. There's so much pressure. So many people watching.
Yeah, and in chat, let us know who you guys think is going to win. Is Kevin with Crossheart going to take it, or Andres with that Black War Greymon X?
And here we go. This is the final game of the weekend. Andres Perdomo with the Black Greymon going up against Kevin Tai with the Crossheart.
And I believe Andres does have the advantage on the seating, so my guess is he's decided to go second for this matchup, and we have Kevin having to go first. Seeing a rookie is pretty nice, and then a second rookie to pass the three, looking at that top three, finding a Greymon, Metal Greymon, and the Antibody Omni.
That's two ads right there.
Time and time again, the Omnimon X has been the key card for Andres. He absolutely loves Omnimon X. He is the savior for him.
And then back over here to Kevin, finding a Sparrowmon in Raising. Let's see if there's any tamers for them to get that value.
Like Ben was saying, though, I think that's going to come down to the tamers, and I feel like this game is the one where Hades Force is going to be the most crucial.
And dropped there is a Taiki, Kuriha, and Nene, the triple tamer, and also puts a choke to Andres to one memory.
This is like the perfect timing. Turn one, still just giving them one back, and it's going to get a lot of value throughout the game.
And throughout the entire weekend, we've seen Andres be very, very defensive, play very safe, going to be staying in the back with the blocker Greymon, just passing over one memory.
Starting the turn, tucking I believe, Starmon's underneath. They're getting a memory and an extra card draw. So with the Sparrowmon to draw and hit into that security early with an X antibody, getting the memory back and the add to hand, and just one memory left for for Kevin now.
Yeah, pretty good. We've seen sometimes the X antibody option coming up in security can make quite a difference. Not only do you gain the memory, but then you have the card added to your hand, and it's such a key card for that deck.
There's Taiki Kudo coming down, and Taiki reveals what looks like a Starmons, another Taiki Kudo, Darulumon, and a Shoutmon. Looks like he's going to slot the Darulumon and then add the Shoutmon to hand.
Yeah, and I believe, again, there is a Starmon underneath the triple tamer, so this means you have more variety there, and hopefully you're able to get value from these ones under the tamers.
Yeah, and we're seeing both players be able to commit to their game plan and address with his surge and slow build. Kevin is building up those tamers and also getting that chip damage so that later on in the game it's easier for him to close the game out.
But we do have Andres there with two memory open and a Greymon X, which means the world is a little bit of his oyster. You're able to do a devolution for 2 into a metal if you want to get some destruction, and there we go there.
And it doesn't get deleted for the fact that that Sparrowmon does get an additional 3,000 DP buff.
Yes, it's all turns. Since it's already a level 3, you do not get that de-digivolve.
Yeah, we have learned you cannot de-digivolve rookies,
Yeah.
right?
All right, and seeing there, so zero memory, you can attack over it, but it looks like they're going to be a little greedy with that X antibody that they got from their security and probably try to attack and digivolve at the same time.
Maybe try and push some damage, which would be interesting because based on his playstyle, again, Andres does not like to take the risk. I feel like he doesn't like swinging at security. He
All
plays very, very safe.
Yeah, and there are some options there, so just digivolving for 1, getting some protection on it. If he was super greedy, you could do like the Hades Force to force the attack and then also get rid of the Tamers there, but deciding to not to.
There is the pop of the Metal Greymon X, so as a result now he basically just gives that protection and also pops the body.
Yeah, it's also a good way to memory choke. Maybe it's not a like full memory choke because there is the Tamer to gain 1, draw 1, but still giving him as little as possible to work with. We're going to see what Kevin has in store, though.
Yeah, I believe tucking the Shoutmon underneath the triple Tamer here and seeing what he has for raising another Shoutmon there, getting the draw.
It's always good to have your rush components just out and available.
Usually the most important card because, you know, the other sources for the other ones make a lot of sense, but the rush part is really the main component for a lot of these getting value.
Yeah, part of what makes that deck so powerful is that you're playing these very expensive, very powerful bodies, and they can immediately attack, immediately impact the game the turn they are played.
Yeah, and if you can immediately attack with them too, you can also have a chance to regain a lot of your resources if it gets deleted by putting them back into their Tamers with the material save mechanic.
One disadvantage against Black Orc Greymon, though, is that if you digivolve the mechanic and then swing over a material that's only saved 1, you don't get to save everything.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people thought about that into this, you know, this tournament where Blackwood Greymon has a lot of inherently good things for a matchup like this. De-digivolving is really hurtful. Being able to destroy Tamers is very impactful. And so I think a lot of people are like, why would I bring that when that's going to be the most prevalent deck? But here we have Kevin in the finals, already taking down a couple in this top 32 and seeing if he can take down 1 more.
Yeah, we're seeing the first Digicross of the set. With the Shoutmon cross 3. Gonna pick up the Surge. Still maintain turn as well. Actually, no, he passes over to 1.
Getting the Star Sword, and I really do like that ad. I like the fact that it's a Starmons. The Shoutmon, obviously you don't get the rush inheritable with it, but man, it's really good for a couple of cheeky plays.
It also doesn't count as 2 materials, though, unfortunately. It's always 1 card, 1 material.
Correct.
You see another rookie for Andres with the promo Agumon for the plus 2k. CP might not matter too much in this matchup, but it is always nice to have. I'm curious to see how much he wants to commit because the Black Greymon X very powerful here, but it would give over quite a bit of memory for Kevin to work with.
Andres, I feel like, is not moving too much into the aggressive right now because of the fact that if he does check security, that could be the result of additional Tamers that get played and free, you know, bodies.
Yeah, and so you specifically this matchup, you want to make sure that if you can try to get rid of a lot of those Tamers and everything else is very, very strong.
Looks like he's thinking about the level 6. Which one's it going to be? Might be a Gaiomon. Yep, it is going to be the Gaio. It's still, you know, pretty expensive. Does get the Digivolve.
That means that you can attack into the to the Shoutmon, and you do not get the additional material save, only the save from the Shoutmon, and then also at the start of the turn, the Metal Greymon X ability will activate and trash the top card of Kevin's security.
We would also lose that 1 Darulumon, too, that has so far been found.
Mm-hmm.
Is he swinging at security?
It looks like it.
Yeah, looks
uncharacteristic
like
form.
Sparrowmon and Ballistamon, no Tamers.
That's what you need, is that aggression that your deck can output. Don't give Kevin that much time. And yes, he might have swung into some Tamers and that could have hurt, but he didn't, and life is okay.
Yeah, and he's down to 2 security, and that means that Andres has a good setup to potentially win this next turn.
Yeah, exactly. That's the difference, right? Like the speed at which you want to take the game, how much time you want to give your opponent. And right now, Gaimon says, Kevin, you're getting no time today.
Yeah, and so Gaimon does have blocker with the inheritable from the Greymon, so there is some defense there, and we'll have to see what else Kevin might have in store for us.
It also has one layer of protection, I believe, from the Greymon X that's also underneath.
Correct.
And that X antibody is slotted.
Yeah, this Gaimon is such a good, stack. And honestly, when we've been watching Andres, it's the Gaimon that's really made the difference for a lot of these matchups.
Yeah, the Gaimon has really impressed me. He's done so much more work than the standard Blackrock Greymon from BT8. Of course, the new Blackrock Greymon X, definitely the king of that deck, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be swinging at security, getting a bit more chip damage. Opting not to block that first hit. You know, it's deceptive because you're like, oh, he only has rookies, but he could, again, always attack with the crosses.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is that inherently, if something has a lot of materials and it has material save, you don't want it to be deleted in security, because that just means you get all those resources back. So
Other Shoutmon going in, and again, the Pikmons. Oh, that's not a Pikmons, it's a Darulu.
Yeah. So it does give minus 2k security, but Shoutmon's is not very big, and so it does get deleted and then saved as well.
Yeah, and once again, he does let the attack go through. And I feel like Crossheart is sometimes deceptive on how much they can do. You're like, oh, he has 5 memory. Like, that's a good amount of memory, but because your big bodies end up costing maybe 1, right? Like, you can actually do so much with that memory. He does have 2 tamers that can let him use those saved materials as sources.
So you do have 5 memory as Crossheart, which is quite a bit, especially with Taiki and a little, a couple sources underneath your tamers. But it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle. That Gaiamon's going to be very hard to get rid of.
Yeah, it's got 13k DP base. Like we're saying, it has the protection, but also like you have to answer it, because if not, as we're saying, Andres is actually set up for a game next turn.
Yeah, 2 checks with the Gaimon, and then even to get rid of the rookie in play, there is a rookie in raising that could get there.
Yeah, so this game has been very well played from Andres. The Mikey being played here for more searches.
Revealing another Cross 7, another Taiki, another Cross 7, and Akari Hinamoto.
Yeah, so probably getting the Cross 7 underneath, very awkward, and then getting another Taiki.
It's a mandatory trigger, so you do have to put something underneath that Taiki Kudo when you do play it for its effect.
Yeah, and looks like they're just saying, you know what, let's get another check, but it will have to pass turn, but only with 1, and maybe there's something in security that can make a difference.
Yeah, and at this point, the memory or the tamer is good to find those pieces, but ultimately, he's in the same board state, and now he only has 2 memory to work with.
Yeah.
Component-wise, he does have the reboot Sparrowmon, the Starmons with the Shoutmon Star Sword, multiple Shoutmons, and I believe, what is that last one underneath the Triple Tamer?
I believe it's another Shoutmon.
Kevin needs to find a way out, though, because, again, Andres putting so much pressure on him quite quickly, right? Like, not playing that slow game that we're used to from him.
Akari Hinamoto drops down, playing a Darulumon and suspending her to draw a card.
And then we're going to have to see what's at Kevin's security. Honestly, most Crossheart decks don't have a lot of security active.
The one Sunrise Buster?
The one Sunrise Buster, or maybe another Akari to get Darulu to pop the rookie you're probably raising, but not usually that good.
Yeah, I feel like surely Andres just goes for it, right?
Yeah. Only other thing is if I have a Greymon that can Digivolve for 1, I do it because that gets out of Darulu range.
Sure.
But other than that, I think there's no memory gain in that security, and you just kind of go for it. Oh, but attacking into
Andres
it.
showing time and time again.
We've seen this.
Like, being extra safe. Does not like to take any chances.
That's so dangerous right here. Oh, never mind.
There's the Hades Force. That's a huge wipe of Tamers. That's all of them, because the Kiriha...
Okay, surely that is the correct play then?
Yeah. I'd still have swung with the Agumon just to set up confirm lethal, because if they get out of... They can get out the Agu, and then you have 1 more turn.
Right, and then they potentially bought another turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see what Kevin can do, but he did lose all his Tamers, talking about how crucial that Hades Force is going to be in this matchup.
Yeah.
Do you think Kevin is definitely on a time clock here in order to, try to get rid of all of his opponent's security before they find that Hades Force?
Yes, 100%. I think that's something that you have to be a little bit careful for, and most decks I don't think are playing more than 3. 3 is like the max for Hades Force, and it's not a searchable card either, so it's a lot of if they have it or not.
Right, and as longer the game goes on, naturally more chances that they will see that card.
Mm-hmm.
In addition, it does require you to have a Greymon to use its effect to delete the Tamers, but in this situation, Andres does set up a Gaiomon relatively quick enough that he is able to use that Hades Force on a whim.
And now Kevin is in that position we've seen many times this weekend where a player is like, okay, I don't think I can do anything, but I need to try. He has to try and find some way to get out of the situation. For starters, it would be like, okay, can I at least get the Agumon off of the board?
Yeah, and so he is doing a cross for only, with 2 materials, so that is for 3. Look at top 3, finding another Darulu, which could help for a removal for the Agumon.
A double Zeeg for potential blocker if he decides to go into a cross 7.
The
Yeah,
Gaimon's still standing strong, though, slowly chipping away at security. Again, playing very safe, but it is working out for Andres so far.
I'm really tempted to block
But
this.
yeah, I was going to say, this is the one
There's
time
no
where you're
tamer.
like, yeah, there's no tamer. What are you afraid of? Like, block seems totally okay.
And there's, even if, like, you have all the materials for, like, something like cross 5 or something, I don't think it makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think in that case, the block does make sense. Kevin still has no tamer set up after that.
And there
for a
is
big
the cross
cross.
7.
Cross 7, crossing the Omni Shoutmon, the Zeeg Greymon, the Darulamon, and the Starmons, passing over quite a bit of memory,
Yeah.
but will probably end up popping the Agumon because the Gaiomon does have protection.
It does have protection, but is it big enough to beat what I believe is a 15k Shoutmon cross 7?
And like, while Andres' play with the Hades Force was definitely very solid, this game could have been over last turn. He
It
could have
could've,
just
yeah.
swung 2 checks, Agu, and we're on game 2 already, right?
Yeah, and
Instead,
I think
we're
the
stuck in this game where, like, Kevin seems like he's still fighting and he might have a way out.
And I don't think the security for Crossheart is scary enough. He knows the exact list, right?
Yeah.
Even like Sunrise Buster, I don't know if you get punished that much, and just being
Yeah,
Andres,
it's like, if that happens and there was a Sunrise Buster to clear the Agumon, then you can still Hades Force clear the Tamers after.
Yeah.
And then he would have no security anyway, right?
Andres might actually go into an Omnimon X antibody play here.
Wouldn't be the first time.
yeah. Because is there any boost in DP available for Andres on there, or is it simply a 13k facing a 15k right now?
Doesn't look like there's any DP buffs other than potentially a promo Agumon for 2000. The Koromon is the draw 1 from BT5.
Yeah, and I don't think it might be the plus 2k Agu. We can't really tell.
Yes, so Andres here thinking of how he's going to get out of this one. Yeah, I don't know. Like, sometimes playing too safe can definitely come back and bite you. And Kevin has a second chance at life here. And also, like, because he didn't block that hit in the previous turn, now Andres is down to 1 security.
Yeah.
Could very easily lose next turn as well.
Which he could have helped mitigate again if he decided to use the blocker with
Yeah,
the guy.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, maybe Kevin's about to lose with no tamers.
Yeah.
It's still interesting to see a Crossheart deck without Tamers being played right now.
Hey, Kevin's making it work, though. You have to play with what you have. And his tamers were wiped, but he did not give up.
Both players are at 1 security right now from the looks of it.
Yeah, and this is the danger because I think Crossheart is definitely a deck that can really capitalize on just one more turn. Even if you clear the board, maybe not Tamers because that's a little bit harder to do, but even if you do some board clearing stuff, it's going to be very tough.
Now, Andres is the one that's trying to figure out, like, okay, what can I do to get out of the situation? How can I close the game out? He is going to be swinging. 1 attacking, Digivolving into his favorite.
They'd still trade.
Yeah, he's deciding to trade.
Okay,
Wow.
so trading stacks. But now he's dead on the board. He has to
Right.
get the Shaman out of there.
This is a very
interesting.
It is interesting because I think we all agree that he should have just swung in because Crossheart decks typically have minimal security bombs.
Yeah, so I'm not sure why he didn't. It may have been something where he didn't say that he was going to digivolve up to it, or just missequencing, not recognizing it was a 15k. Because it's not. It looks like a 13k, but it does have that extra stuff.
Yeah.
Hard
Play
playing a
X.
Greymon
Not a
X.
blocker. Double checking the trash.
You could you could put underneath it an X antibody and then go into the or just any metal grade can get that destruction there.
Just a memory choke too.
Yeah, because Shoutmon is on top, so you can okay, yep.
Okay, yeah, he's got that.
Yep.
And
There's the D-Digivolve, and then there's the pop. No save at all.
Yeah, so finding just enough to stay alive.
But this might also be Kevin's turn, because that Shoutmon could potentially swing net the right piece he needs to cross into a specific Digimon. Could be cross 4, could be cross 3.
Yeah, you don't need the tamer. You could just Digicross from the hand.
Yeah, but that's still only. I think he's out of Shoutmons. I think this is either his third or fourth one on the board right now.
I would say it's his fourth, because I remember he had 2 underneath the tamers when they went bye-bye.
So, like, yeah, you could swing. Like, this would have to attack into security and live, and it's just which.
What's the
can
chance?
happen.
I mean, it
What's the
might be a
chance?
cool
Cool
boy,
boy.
You haven't seen a
Cool boy.
You haven't seen a
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
yeah.
You haven't seen a memory boost. A lot of potential cards. If that's the case, you win on the spot if you have enough materials in hand to keep it your turn.
This game is actually too close. I think Kevin's gonna swing. I mean, he sort of has to, right?
Yeah, I'm getting nervous just watching this. I'm like,
yeah.
am I making this mistake? Like, what's going on?
All right,
Yeah.
Kevin is swinging.
He has
What
to
is the
swing.
last Security.
There's the draw. There's the. It's deleted by Gaio.
What does he have left?
Not a lot. And again, with that Agu and raising, yeah, Taiki.
Okay, it's just gonna pass turn, right?
Yeah.
So we're right back to the. I guess we're hoping security is something, but at this point, you can just swing with Agu first.
Agu
Somebody's
first.
Buster is not good enough.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in security that would stop Agu swinging first into metal. Grade.
There is one thing that could happen, though, and that could be Agu hits Zenjiro Tsurugi, and Kevin plays a blocker Ballistamon.
That is not
Nothing.
happening.
Andres is gonna take in number 1. That was way too close.
You can tell he's
Sigh of
nervous,
relief.
too. Sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Like he, without being disrespectful, almost threw it away. Like it looked like he was.
Yeah, really, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, like he is super safe playstyle.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a bit stubborn to that
Yeah.
regard, right? Like
Yeah.
All the Black War Gray players have been very, and we talked about this in the last mirror match too, where there has been a lot of restraint with the Black War Greymon players. Normally you'd think they'd go aggro, all in, hit 2 security, unsuspend, trash top security. We've been seeing the opposite. We've been seeing them more so swing into their opponent's Digimon, unsuspend, and literally just trash 1 at a time.
And it's really tempting too because you're a big 13k plus body. You get reboot, right? You want to start doing damage. You want to be able to use the reboot effect. But yeah, sometimes that security is really strong and you have to be careful about it.
and to be fair, like that playstyle has gotten here to the grand finals.
Yes.
At the same time, though, you'd hate to lose the final game because you're being way too safe. And sometimes in life, you have to take some risk to get the W.
And we weren't watching chat, but I can guarantee I can see you guys like, why didn't he swing? Why didn't? And it all worked out. And sometimes you have to have faith of he is here. He's in this finals. He knows what he's doing. And it seems to be working still.
It was very scary, though, when Kevin got those extra turns and he was mounting that comeback. Like, if he had 1 tamer, it would have been over, right?
And did we hit 2K on concurrent fall? 2K, 1,000 people. Thank you. That is twice the capacity of this venue. Thank you guys very much for this final. I was really looking forward to seeing this conclusion here.
Yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying the show the entire weekend. We're still in the final game here as we prepare for game 2. We have Andres Perdomo up 1 game against Kevin Tai with the cross heart.
And that's it. Well, then let's go to this match, see how the adjustments happen, and see if there's anything that Kevin can do for this matchup as well.
All right, here we go. Players are setting up. Andres Perdomo 1 game away from being the 2022 North American champion. And Kevin, he needs to find some victories quickly.
Yeah, and again, like it's such a back and forth. You can try to stop Crosshair from doing stuff, but there's almost always like a chance, right? It's more of do they have the pieces and less of they don't have an out, right? It just depends on what their hand is.
It also didn't help that in the last game, Kevin's security didn't have as many tamers to play those pieces. It was primarily
This is rough.
just-
No rookie in the opener for Andres. You hate to see it.
Oh, 2,300 viewers. My bad. Just casually forgetting 300 y'all. Thank you guys very much.
We're gonna see if Kevin, on the other hand, has a good opener.
Can you capitalize on this Greymon play here?
Can we please have
Not on like a turn one, unless you just say, oh, you're hard playing something, I'm hard playing across 7. Let's see it happen.
Going
That's a good
Taiki
start.
Kudo right off the bat, revealing the top 4 cards. Another Taiki, a Shoutmon Star Sword, a Shoutmon Cross 7, and an Omni Shoutmon. Kind of the whole Digivolution line right there.
Yeah, well, most of all your red and yellow stuff, so a lot of ketchup and mustard over there. And of course, we don't know exactly what's in that hand, right? But we can say, like, again, Shoutmon Star Swords just as a material is really great. Looks like
You'd add the Taiki and either slot the Shoutmon Star Sword or the Omni Shoutmon, because Cross 3 is more useful as a cross Digimon.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the others, because the Shoutmon does the level 5 one does act as either Shoutmon R itself, so that can be good. But another Taiki pass into 1, not capitalizing on that hard play, and a good amount of
Revealing
cards.
Shoutmon Cross 7, and it looks like another Cross 3 and a Zenjiro Tsurugi.
And although he didn't have a rookie of his own, I feel like that's a great way to utilize the memory he was given. The cross hard deck does need to set up those tamers, and Mikey picking up all the pieces that he will possibly need. So we'll see if, Andres had that very awkward start. Does he have good follow-up? Does he have, like, Greymon X into maybe I finally drew a rookie?
Kevin could have also added the Shoutmon Star Sword to hand and then slot the Omni Shoutmon so you could Digivolve into the Shoutmon Star Sword for that memory of 1. It's not as great, but it would give him a rookie to go into on that Pikmons in order to start drawing more cards and chipping away.
There we go. The next card is a rookie. So honestly, maybe it's fine for Andres, right?
Yeah, and with that Greymon X, you can again use 2 memory to Digivolve up and pass.
You can also Hades Force.
Oh man,
Hades Force would clear all of them right now.
Hades Force with the devolution from attacking.
Oh, I'm actually incorrect. It would clear 1 of the tamers.
Yeah.
Gonna just go into the Metal Greymon to Memory Choke. Maybe next turn we might see a Hades Force. That could be something.
And again, we don't know exact ratios of Hades Force. You can think he's running 2 or 3.
I would guess 2.
2.
Yeah, he's
2.
has 2 on the X, so gotta make room for it somewhere.
Playing a Taiki Kirihan Nene. I'm always going to start with Kiri on that one. But with that regard, Hades Force doesn't clear the entire tamer route right now. We will be able to keep at least 1 tamer unless, for some reason, Andres decides to go Gaiomon first, and then next turn clear everything else.
And that's, I mean, again, Tamer Destruction is a really, good way to counter this deck. But just the fact that you originally you just had the 4 Taikis to use the Digivolving effect, the triple Tamer being able to have another Tamer that lets you use those sources means that even if you get a popper 1 or 2 and it being a 4, just means it gets a little bit more protection.
Yeah, I wonder if we might even see like the regular BTA Blackwood Greymon. Still would be good.
Andres thinking about it, maybe the original BTA Blackboard Greymon or just going right into a Gaiomon.
He's gonna promote, which I like. It's a more aggressive play than we usually see from him. But I think that, while Kevin set up all these tamers, like Andres is the one with the Digimon on the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you do go into the BT8 one, that would be 2 Tamer Destructions because it's up to 6, so you get both Taikis out of here. But
yeah, it is going to be the Gaio, and he is going to be swinging at security. Let's go.
And when the
checks,
security looks like
everything's good.
that, why would you not?
Exactly.
I think he feels a little bit more confident in this game, particularly because last game he ripped, again, Ballistamon, Sparrowmons, nothing really that was high DP. And even then, if he has the DP buffs with that BT5 Greymon, across 7 doesn't even compete with him in the security.
And it could just be a thing later he's recognizing in this matchup like now is like, oh, my opponent doesn't have a lot of scary things in security. Yeah. I can afford to be more aggressive because if I give them 1 extra turn, that can sometimes be 3 or 4 swings that I probably won't have a way to handle.
And Kevin answering back, swinging with the Shoutmon, getting some early chip damage. Although, he didn't have a rookie either, so he hasn't gotten that much damage. Andres still has quite a bit of security left.
Mm-hmm.
We do see all the tamers set up, though. But it's Kevin the one that he needs to win this so badly to at least bring it to a game number 3.
Yep, and I think he has a cross 7 in hand, but that protection off the Gaiomon is pretty crucial there, and we'll see what their follow-up is.
Yeah, does he want to commit resources just to clear, like, say, the Agumon? Or are we just going to let that Agu rock and then set up something else instead?
If the cross 7 does get big enough, though, that Z Greymon blocker inheritable can stop the Gaiomon from potentially attacking, especially if you get multiple components underneath cross 7.
So it looks like the play is a Darulu to just pass one memory, get rid of the Agumon, but that does also mean the Gaimon can swing over it and just stop the momentum again.
I can't swing over. It can also swing for 2 more security and
true.
then set up for game next turn. Right?
That is very valid.
Could be that simple, but based on Andres and his playstyle, I don't think that's what's going to happen. But that is definitely a play here.
I don't know. I think he sees the W in his eyes. He's like, swing here.
Yeah, swing 2
Play
memory
cool
choke
boy.
to 1.
He just needs to go for it. He just needs to go for it.
We'll see. He has played so safe. Maybe he's
Yeah.
like on the X. You
Yeah,
take 10
he's
memory.
it's just like it's so you can taste it, right? It's so close. You're
so
like,
close.
you're
Yeah.
like, go for it. Is this the time?
Kevin is not finding those tamers though to really get him that extra value. We have seen no Zenjiros to give him that extra memory for ballistas. And there's the Hades Force that we had talked about. This clears the entire board almost except for Darulomon, and then you can still attack with the Gaiomon and swing.
Security. Yes. That's
Yeah.
what you want to see.
And you have to
Excellently
swing with
played.
security with Harry's force, but
Oh, true.
but-
Well, okay, it was forced, but he
Yeah.
still swung.
Yeah,
security.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still proud of him.
and this is potentially Kevin's last turn today.
No tamers established. Gaio with protection. Rookie in the back. Can you find a way out, Kevin?
Don't think he has enough of the components in his hand to actually do it. We also saw that at least 2 cross 7s have either been bottom decked or gone to the trash, which means there's not many ways to out this Gaiomon and also set up a blocker at the same time.
As we said, the Hades Force was going to be absolutely crucial in this matchup, and that was such a well-timed Hades Force from Andres in potentially the final game of the weekend.
Talked about this also, that the longer the game goes for Kevin, the less likely his chances are because of the fact that Andres will likely find that Hades Force to wipe those tamers.
Yeah, and like even if you see it early, like you want to make sure you get that max value of it, right?
Yep.
You want to make sure that your opponent is like, oh, they're not going to see it. I can't play around it anymore, and then just get super punished by it.
And even Kevin's security hasn't had too many tamers. This time there were still 4 Digimon inside. Ballista, Sparrow, Shoutmon King version, and even the Shoutmon Cross 7. Nothing that really, gives him that extra value.
Yeah, he is. And again, like we've been talking about this all the time, like missing your rookies sometimes stinks, but you started this game by playing a Greymon for 5, and here you are on tournament point to win it next turn.
Yeah, Andres really making it work all the way to the end, and Kevin is now in that spot we talked about time and time again. Look at your cards as hard as you can. Can you find an out? I do not see one. Can Kevin find one?
I don't know if it's necessarily finding the out, more like they want to will different cards into their hands.
Yeah, especially in a deck like Crossheart where there's so many different pieces to try to get into the same puzzle. Like you were like, if you were Shoutmon, I'd win right now. If you were Ballistamon,
Swing at security.
okay,
Lives.
lives.
Okay. I
No need to save.
Save under what,
start of
though?
something.
Yeah, exactly.
Just feels like Kevin has nothing.
And interestingly enough, there are several cross Digimon that have yet to make appearances in the card game. There's Darulomon crossed with other Digimon as well.
And looking at the top 3, getting 2 of these cards, you see that cross 4,
The one of.
but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Kind of expensive there, but he did have quite a bit of memory to work with.
Not finding the Shoutmons either. I think a lot of the Shoutmons have been trashed at this point, especially because they were all hiding under Taikis or the Triple General.
All right.
And well, it all comes down to this.
And
Is there
see if-
anything in security that could save Kevin? I don't think so.
Come on, Zenjiro.
Please swing at
There
security.
he is. It's an Akari, and he takes
And
it.
that's it.
Andres is your 2022 Digimon card game finalist, our winner for today, this weekend, and
And
this
you
whole event.
called it.
I sure did.
Ultimately, it was the Blackwood Greymon, but it was not just the power of Black Greymon, but the skill and amazing plays of Andres Perdomo the entire weekend. Every time this guy showed up on stream, he always gave us a great show.
Yeah.
Well played, well earned. Congratulations to Andres Perdomo.
And you can
your
see
North
his
American
relief.
champion.
He is
The shaky hands, it's gone. It's all evaporated.
100%. And again, these are not the final times these players will be fighting in the 2022 season. We do have the Worlds event that these both players have qualified for, and that should be very exciting as well.
Yeah, what an amazing weekend with so many amazing games. And what a way to end the show
Yeah.
with all three of us, Black Raymond taking the crown.
Yeah.
And again, very impressed by Andres Perdomo. I'm sure he will represent us, do a great job at Worlds.
100%, 100%. And big shout outs to also DigiPanny here with the third mic. Not easy, but I do appreciate the extra work.
Not a problem. Always here to help.
Happy we got all three of us on here. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk the interviews through the medal ceremonies, and we'll be back. But congratulations to Andres for winning this event with Black War Greymon.